Morning. This is another photograph of our recent holiday, well last week's holiday in Cornwall, UK. This is Porth Joke. It's a lovely inletted bay behind where we were staying. It's just round the corner from Crantock, which I painted on Monday. Monday. It looks a bit nondescript. It was quite a grey morning as we trundled down the hill into this lovely secluded bay. There's nothing there, no car park, no amenities, just wonderful nature, a beautiful sea, all the little surfy waves, the tide going out. So there's a stream that runs into the beach, as there is in most of these inlets. We'll have to show. If I do a bit of blue sky, then I can show a bit of blue here, just as a device to show that is wet, reflecting the sky, and this is dry sand. Later on in this day, we played beach cricket, and other families joined in. Had a great time. Very safe for children. So what we've got a clump of trees. This is what attracted me. This relief of tension in this just ordinary slope. Here we've got some rocks. They're slate mostly. And this one, I don't know what that one is. But I'll just do an impression of it as usual. Right, I'll put that up here. Those of you that follow Alan Owen, I spend a lot of time on the phone to him, and we were chatting last night. And he put me on to artist Steve Hall, watercolourist Steve Hall, and Mike Porter, who made a documentary on Ron Ranson, which I think he lives in Idaho now. I think I'm right. But anyway, he's made one on Steve Hall, and it's very entertaining. It's a 9-minute video, so look it up for watercolourists. Very nice documentary. So here we are. We've got the acrylic palette laid out on my Stay Wet palette. I've got yellow, any yellow really, yellow ochre. I bought this alizarin, well it's not alizarin, it's a crimson red from Wilkinson's, 200ml tube for £1.50. Cadmium red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey, not Payne's grey, black. I don't use Payne's grey in this, in my opaque medium. I use black. And I can also use burnt sienna if I wish, but I'm going to lay off of the burnt sienna for the moment. What I've done, I've put a burnt sienna wash over an old demo, which I didn't particularly like. It was okay as a demo. And I've put this raw sienna wash over it. You might wonder why this particular colour. Well, anything you put on a white surface, any colour that you put on a white surface, looks much darker, obviously, than the white in the contrast. So when you're inexperienced, you tend to compensate for this by making the initial colour lay-in too light to compensate for that contrast, and then you end up going through the painting like that, and your painting ends up too light overall. But by using a mid-tone, which this is, you could have a sort of thin wash of burnt umber, or any colour you like really. But this is a nice warm mid-tone, so whatever you put on it, it's going to register the correct sort of contrast. That's why we put a ground of that colour, but you don't have to. The one I did Monday, I went straight in on it, and it seems to be doing all right on YouTube and Facebook. So that gives you some homework. So Steve Hall, Mike Porter. If you haven't yet seen the short documentary on Ron Ranson, who's still with us, thankfully, who inspired a generation of watercolourists, as did Ted Wesson, and Steve Hall is painting in the style of Ted Wesson, as does Alan Owen, and Alan's a very fine artist. But I don't do what he does. I don't do what anybody does. I do what I do. So here we go. I'll put in this bank of trees first. So I'll use a bit of green. I've got some sap green on there. So I'll just get this coming down here, going all the way down to there. I'll put in bit of black and a bit of yellow, and we'll just put in these trees here. This will all be changed as we go on. Another bit of tree up there. I don't do copies. I just do an impression. Easier to do really than trying to do a photographic copy and getting it wrong, and you'll never be satisfied with it. So make it up. Create art, not photographs, is my sort of modus operandi. Let's get that down here. There's just these bits of interest on the horizon and here and there. Okay, so a bit of ochre and look out for lights and darks. It's a dull day, so the contrast weren't very strong. So we have to create our contrast. Okay, that'll do. We'll let that dry off. I'll put in some of these rocks now. Most of my acrylics I use are from Wilko's now, Wilkinson's. It's a family-run supermarket business. No, not supermarket. That's wrong. It's not groceries. Hardware, pharmaceutical products, DIY stuff, some art materials, and they're doing these tubes of artist materials, cerulean blue that is. I don't use a lot of that, but it's a 200ml tube for £1.50. It's sensational value, so I'm stocking up. Every time I go into Wilkinson's to get something, I buy another couple of tubes because it might not be there forever. If people don't buy it, then they'll eventually take it off the shelves. So I'm mixing a bit of grey from black, a bit of white, a bit of blue. Bit of a slope down there. I'm going to put some warm in there. Right, let's get some dark in there now. Bit of burnt umber, bit of blue maybe, bit of black if you like. Just put this shoreline or the cliff line in here. Might come down a bit lower than that, but I want it to contrast with the lighter sand. Right, let's see. I'm going to bring that down a little bit and just going up here. Okay, that'll do. That's a start. Now we're just roughing a bit of beach. So burnt umber, a bit of ochre and a lot of white. A bit darker in the sand shadow, or where it changes from sand to shingle. There's no texture on this. Is Fabriana £130. I haven't added any texture. I'm just painting straight on the paper, on the prime paper. But by just doing this, it puts a surface on the paper anyway. And as it dries, we can dry brush over that. These brushes are 1-inch flats. The varnish brushes made by or marketed by Pro Art, and they're very, very good. They're inexpensive and they do a great job. And I'm a great believer in using the largest brush possible that I can get away with. I'm just refresh my screen. Right, let's get some dark foliage in here. Are you enjoying the Olympics? I certainly am. It's just the fauna coming down to the rocks. We'll do a better job with those rocks as we get into it. I want a slate sort of grey, so a bit blue in the white. It's a bit too bright. So I'll use black and white here. Just detailing these bits and pieces. We can go back to it later to qualify it. We don't have to try and finish each bit. Just build it up slowly. There's that sort of big rock here and that shadow. Right, that's nearly ready to put some sky in. I don't want to smudge into that too much. That paint there, but that tree is still a little bit wet. So I just want to get this light beachy colour, like sand. Nice. I'll get some blue in there when I do the sky. See, as artists we can create any sky we like. We just used the photograph as a help rather than a crutch. Now I want to get some dark in there. I'm not worried about covering all the warm underpainting. I'm quite happy to let some of that stay. So right, let's get the sky in. Ultramarine. There's a lot of water in that, but that's okay. So a little bit of the crimson, a little bit of red. Let's put a bit of nice cloud in there. Still a bit wet there. I'm painting the sky down to the landscape. Nice bright background to contrast with the dark of the landscape. It's very tempting to overpaint stuff. I overdo the photographic look of a sky. I tend to underpaint it to leave something for the viewer to put in. Like a bit of warm ochre on the horizon. The cloud just coming up or behind the land. Right, let's get a bit of nice blue in there now. Just merge it all in. To show that we've got a nice bright sky coming in there. Right, more cloud in there now. And a bit darker cloud. Let's put a bit of umber in that sky there. See what that does. No, don't like that. Now that's a sort of abstract sky in there. So bright sky going over there. That's that little screen. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, now we can start to work on the middle distance now, on the greens. Bit of white in there, I think. Getting nice and bright. Oh, I've got to bring that sky down a little bit there. Bit of a darker green. The sap green is very useful. You can use viridian. Bit of red in it, just to warm it up. I like mixing reds with my greens. Just trying to make this landscape, this hill, interesting, but just adding flicks, bits and pieces. You don't have to justify it, really. All right, now a duller green, like with that red, yellow, sap green. Oh, we'll just get that in there. So we can put some more red in there. Okay, we can put some of this bush back here, but I just want to do that sky in that corner there. You really don't have to give these sort of paintings a great finish. But now with that nice light there, I can put in the trees. On this horizon here, just I'll make it a little bit darker on here. And then we've got some in here. Now let's have that bit of blue. Show a bit of distance there. All right, black. yellow, my stock in trade for my silhouetted trees. Turn my screen back on again. Bit there. A bit of red in there. Just putting these bushes in. Scrubby bush. It's a very battered coast, Cornwall. It's the southwest it is. A fair amount of rain usually. Okay, how are we doing? Right, that's coming up. Same brush, just cleaned it out with water. A bit of detail now in these rocks now. You can even use a knife if you wanted. No rules. Just looking for the lights. Now we'll get some darks. We might be going a little bit too dark with this, but anyway. The shadows in these rocks, they're showing the strata really, or a feeble attempt at showing the strata. Okay, right, that's a bit of this. Just trying to show the gravel, but just a gentle dry brush over here. So the paper's just a little bit buckled. Let's just see if I can stretch it out a bit. Just build up the contrast now in this wet sand. Very yellow ochre and a bit of burnt umber coming very, very useful. Edge of white. That's light there, catching the light. Light across here. Just trying to show the wet river or stream coming onto the beach here. There's a bit of blue in there, a bit of light blue. Could make this easier by putting a bit of texture, plaster of Paris or something. Lovely sand, sandy Cornwall beaches. Right, some nice lighter stuff here. It's where the river sort of comes out of the valley. Nice and light here. Now a bit of contrast with the umber. Wonderful family holiday last week. Right, let's put in some, just a bit of weed and a bit of detritus, flotsam. Not too much of this, all like that. Still needs a little bit more contrast in there, a bit more light. I might just leave this, no, not try to overwork it, which I'm tempted to do now. And we've got a bit of sand, a bit of light sand, just showing in here. I was discussing brushes with Alan last night, Alan Owen that is, that you can have all the brushes in the world, you can have all the lovely paint boxes, but really it can come down to just one wearing out brush that can do so much. You paint with your head, not with your brush. Well, I'm just putting some bit of detail, showing the shape of these hills, cliffs. Well, I think I just want to put a bit more detail in with the rigger. I'll just make it dark. I could overdo this, but I was just a temptation. I think that's gone as far as I'm going to take it. Other than just to outline or get a contrast between, a counter change between the rocks and where they come down to the beach. So we'll put that light, even lighter. We won't alter the rocks, but we'll. I could put some figures in, but I won't. So there we are. So that's Porth joke again, an impression of. I'll put it in the mounds and we'll have a look. masterpieces take a lot longer to do than 20 minutes. Oops. A bit of tape underneath there, I think. Okay. Maybe it's the right amount. It's not big enough aperture, is it? There we go. That's the one, I think. Okay, that'll do. One on there. One on there. Put that one here. So, an impression of Porth joke from a photograph, what I took last week. There's probably still a bit, could do with a bit more light in it, so just do it. Right, well that'll do, that's all I can do to that. As I say, masterpieces take longer, but as a demo, hope you like it. Let's go into it and work around. So they're my impressions of slate rocks in strata. Only an impression. And we'll come up to that horizon there. Just show that scrubby trees on the top of it now. Just going down to the valley, and then coming back to, that's supposed to represent this bit here, it's supposed to represent the water reflecting the sky as it trickles down towards the sea, which is down that way. Okay, well, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed that. We'll go and stick that on YouTube in a minute, and Facebook. All my work, all the stills from my work over the last I think 18 months is on my Dave Usher Facebook page, plus some that I did in the 1990s, some Venice pictures and stuff. Have a go yourselves. Thanks for watching. Any questions, just ask. Bye bye.